Man's Search for Meaning is a powerful and poignant memoir written by Austrian psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. Born in Vienna in 1905, Frankl was a distinguished psychiatrist and neurologist who survived the Holocaust after being held in several Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz and Dachau, from 1942 to 1945. His experiences during the Holocaust greatly influenced his professional work, which culminated in the development of logotherapy. The book, first published in 1946, is divided into two parts. The first part details Frankl's harrowing experiences in the concentration camps, providing a stark exploration of life under extreme conditions where the quest for meaning became crucial for survival. It bears witness not only to human suffering and brutality, but also to the strength of the human spirit. The second part of the book introduces logotherapy, a school of psychotherapy founded by Frankl. This therapeutic approach posits that the primary motivational force in humans is the search for meaning. Frankl argues that we can endure any suffering or challenge if we can find a purpose in it, a concept he encapsulates as meaning. Man's Search for Meaning is more than a chronicle of atrocities. It is a testament to human resilience, demonstrating that even in the darkest hours, individuals can find purpose and meaning in their lives. It continues to serve as a beacon of hope, encouraging readers to embrace their capacity for defiance against despair. Man's Search for Meaning was born out of the tumultuous historical period of Second World War and the Holocaust. The mid-20th century was a time of global conflict, atrocities, and unprecedented human suffering. The Holocaust, in particular, was a systematic, state-sponsored genocide by Nazi Germany against 6 million Jews. Viktor Frankl, himself Jewish, was a well-established psychiatrist in Vienna before the war. His promising career was interrupted when he, along with his wife, parents, and brother, were detained and sent to concentration camps. Frankl survived, but his immediate family did not. These experiences became the cornerstone for Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl wrote the book over 9 successive days shortly after his liberation from Turkheim, a Dachau subcamp, in 1945. His aim was to reflect on his experiences and the psychological transformations he witnessed among his fellow prisoners. Amidst the horror, he found an opportunity to test his psychotherapeutic theories about the importance of a purposeful life. The context in which the book was written provides a deeper understanding of its content. It was not merely an intellectual endeavor, but a visceral response to Frankl's own suffering. The book offers an introspective look at humanity's capacity to grapple with extreme adversity, underscoring the importance of meaning and purpose. In this sense, the historical and personal context of Man's Search for Meaning enriches our understanding of Frankl's perspective. The narrative of the Holocaust gives life to his philosophical insights and his formulation of logotherapy, emphasizing that our primary motivation in life is not pleasure, as suggested by Freud, but rather the discovery and pursuit of what we personally find meaningful. The human capacity to find meaning, even in the most horrific circumstances, is the overarching theme of this impactful work. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl provides a harrowing account of his arrival at Auschwitz, one of the most notorious Nazi concentration camps. The brutal and dehumanizing experiences began immediately. Frankl and his fellow prisoners were stripped of their possessions, including clothes, wedding rings, and even their names, reduced instead to identification numbers. This dehumanization was a systematic attempt to rob individuals of their identities and dignity. Frankl describes the utter shock and despair they felt as they were made to undergo a selection process, a grim exercise where Nazi doctors decided who was fit for work and who was sent directly to the gas chamber. The randomness and indifference of this process was a horrifying introduction to the arbitrary nature of life and death in the camp. Yet, in these early days, Frankl also began to observe the ways in which individuals responded to their circumstances. He noticed that while some succumbed to the terror and hopelessness, others clung to a semblance of hope and purpose. These observations, the seeds of his later development of logotherapy, showed him that even in the most degrading conditions, individuals could find reasons to continue living. In Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl offers a sobering depiction of daily life in a concentration camp. The inmates endured inhuman conditions, severe overcrowding, appalling hygiene, scant clothing, even in the harshest weather, and chronic starvation. The meager ration of bread and thin soup barely met the energy requirements for the grueling work they were forced to do. The daily routine was monotonous and brutal, beginning early in the morning with roll call, followed by long hours of hard labor. Exhaustion, illness, and injuries were commonplace, but medical attention was virtually non-existent. Despite the physical hardships, Frankl emphasizes that the mental and emotional suffering was equally, if not more, torturous. Frankl speaks of the constant fear of death that hung over the inmates like a pervasive cloud. The sight of the smoke rising from the crematorium was a chilling reminder of their fate. The inmates also struggled with the pain of uncertainty, not knowing if their loved ones were alive or dead. Yet, amidst this dehumanizing reality, Frankl observed that the inmates who were able to survive the longest were those who found a purpose to hold on to, even in such dire condition. They sought meaning in different forms: memories of loved ones, religious faith, dreams of freedom, or, in Frankl's case, the urge to rewrite a manuscript he had lost upon arrival at the camp. These meaningful pursuits served as a psychological lifeline, enabling them to withstand the immense suffering. Through his experiences, Frankl noted that the way inmates responded to their situation was largely a result of their mental and emotional state, emphasizing that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. It was in this choice that the seedlings of logotherapy began to sprout. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl dissects the human condition under extreme duress and reflects on the indomitable will to live, the role of hope, and the manifestation of both good and evil. In the bleak environment of concentration camps, Frankl noticed that the will to live became central to survival. The desire to stay alive was often tied to a purpose, whether it was to reunite with loved ones, to complete unfinished work, or to witness the end of the war. He observed that prisoners who lost hope or had no reason to live often succumbed to the harsh conditions, even if they were physically healthy. This observation led Frankl to conclude that a sense of meaning was crucial to survival, a fundamental principle of his logotherapy. Amidst the atrocities, Frankl witnessed the spectrum of human nature. He saw instances of unparalleled brutality from the guards, but also acts of selflessness and kindness from fellow prisoners. Some inmates shared their meager rations with the sick, others offered words of comfort or solace, and some even risked their lives to spare others from harsh punishment. These acts of goodness, amidst such horror, underscored the inherent capacity for compassion and resilience within humans. Simultaneously, Frankl also acknowledges the existence of the capo system, where selected prisoners were given preferential treatment and authority in return for enforcing the SS's brutal discipline. Some prisoners succumbed to this role, embodying the very evil they were subjected to, revealing that circumstances could bring out both the best and the worst in individuals. Frankl's experiences in the concentration camps deeply ingrained in him that despite external conditions, individuals retain the freedom to choose their attitude and find meaning in life, thereby preserving their inner dignity and humanity. In the second part of Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl introduces logotherapy, his unique form of psychotherapy, which was shaped by his experiences in the Nazi concentration camps. At its core, logotherapy is predicated on the belief that human nature is motivated by the search for a life purpose. Frankl argues that the primary human drive is not a pursuit of pleasure, as proposed by Freud, but the discovery and pursuit of what we personally find meaningful. Logotherapy, from the Greek word logos, meaning reason or principle, proposes that our primary motivation in life is to find meaning. It is often referred to as the Third Viennese School of Psychotherapy, following Freud's psychoanalysis and Adler's individual psychology. Frankl suggests 3 ways to find meaning in life. First, through work or doing a deed. Second, by experiencing something or encountering someone. And third, by the attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering. The last of these was intensely personal to Frankl due to his experiences in the concentration camps. In essence, logotherapy provides an existential analysis of the human condition, highlighting the importance of meaning, purpose, and responsibility in enhancing the quality of life and in enabling individuals to overcome challenges and adversities. Viktor Frankl's experiences in the Nazi concentration camps significantly shaped his understanding of human psychology and became the foundation of his theory of logotherapy. At its core, logotherapy proposes that the primary motivating force for humans is not power or pleasure, but the pursuit of meaning. Frankl suggests 3 ways through which individuals can discover this meaning: by creating a work or doing a deed, by experiencing something or encountering someone, and by the attitude taken toward unavoidable suffering. The first way is through our actions, accomplishments, or creations. This could include professional achievements, artistic endeavors, or contributions to society. Frankl himself found a sense of purpose in reconstructing a manuscript he had lost upon entering Auschwitz. The second path to meaning is through love or our experience of the world around us. For Frankl, this was the love for his wife, despite not knowing if she was alive. He found solace and purpose in the memories of their times together. The third, and perhaps the most profound, is finding meaning in suffering. Frankl argued that even in the face of unavoidable suffering, individuals could choose their attitude towards it, and in doing so, find a sense of purpose. During his time in the camps, he realized that, despite their physical circumstances, individuals retained the freedom to choose their mental and emotional response. Frankl wrote, in some way, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. This belief led him to contend that even in the darkest times there exists the potential for purpose and significance. By affirming life's potential meaning under any condition, logotherapy encourages individuals to endure hardship and suffering by attaching a greater purpose to it. In Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl expounds upon the defiant power of the human spirit, centering on 3 interconnected ideas: the freedom of will, the will to meaning, and the meaning of life. Freedom of will, according to Frankl, is an inherent human capacity that cannot be stripped away, regardless of external circumstances. This conviction was shaped by his experiences in the concentration camps, where he witnessed that, despite the brutal conditions, individuals retained the freedom to choose their mental and emotional response. They could decide how their suffering, pain, and even the prospect of their death would internally affect them. This, Frankl argued, was the last of human freedoms, and the basis for the dignity of the individual. The will to meaning is the fundamental motivation for human life, according to logotherapy. Unlike Freud's pleasure principle or Adler's will to power, Frankl proposes that we are driven by a desire to find meaning in life. He contends that life has potential meaning under any circumstance, even the most miserable ones. The meaning of life, in Frankl's view, is not a universal or one-size-fits all answer, but is unique and specific to each person. He posits that the meaning of life changes from moment to moment, and that every person is questioned by life and can only respond by being responsible for their existence. Through these ideas, Frankl asserts that despite facing immense suffering, humans have the capacity to rise above it by choosing their attitude towards it and seeking meaning in it. This defiant power of the human spirit forms the heart of Frankl's logotherapy and his message in Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl explores profound themes that offer valuable insights into human nature and the quest for a fulfilling life. The key themes include freedom, responsibility, the search for meaning, the importance of love, and the potential for transformation in suffering. Freedom, in Frankl's context, is not about physical liberty, but the freedom to choose our attitudes, even in the face of extreme adversity. He argues that even in the most oppressive circumstances, like those of a concentration camp, individuals retain the freedom to choose their responses to suffering and injustice. This freedom allows us to maintain our dignity and humanity, despite external conditions. Responsibility, as Frankl sees it, is closely tied to freedom. With the freedom to choose our attitudes comes the responsibility to choose wisely. Frankl posits that life questions us, and we respond through our actions and attitudes. Therefore, each person is responsible for finding a unique purpose and meaning in life. The search for meaning is the central theme of the book and of logotherapy. Frankl contends that our primary motivation in life is the discovery and pursuit of what we find meaningful. He suggests that meaning can be found even in suffering, and that in some way, suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds a meaning. Love, according to Frankl, is one of the ways through which we can find meaning. Even in the dire conditions of the camp, it was his love for his wife that gave him strength and purpose. Finally, Frankl's experiences highlight the potential for transformation in suffering. He showed that through suffering, individuals could find a deeper purpose and meaning, leading to personal growth and understanding. The lessons from Man's Search for Meaning are timeless reminders of our capacity for resilience, our responsibility to seek meaning in our lives, and the significance of maintaining hope and humanity even in the face of profound suffering. In today's world, Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning continues to be profoundly relevant and impactful. As we face global challenges like pandemics, climate change, and various social and personal crises, Frankl's ideas provide critical insights into human resilience and our capacity to find meaning amidst adversity. His concept of logotherapy is employed in various fields, from psychology to business, for fostering individual and collective resilience. His emphasis on personal responsibility, freedom of attitude, and the pursuit of a meaningful life serves as a powerful guide in our contemporary quest for purpose. His assertion that the search for meaning is the primary human motivation provides a potent antidote to feelings of despair or aimlessness, reminding us of our inherent capacity to imbue our lives with purpose and significance. In conclusion, Man's Search for Meaning is a deeply moving narrative that chronicles Viktor Frankl's experiences in Nazi concentration camps while illuminating his profound insights on human nature. Frankl's philosophy, as embodied in logotherapy, centers on the belief that our primary motivation in life is the pursuit of meaning, a quest that can lead us through adversity and imbue our lives with purpose. His ideas about the inherent freedom to choose our attitudes, even in the face of extreme suffering, offer timeless lessons about resilience, dignity, and the defiant power of the human spirit. As a personal reflection, this book serves as a potent reminder that amidst life's uncertainties and hardships, we retain the capacity and responsibility to seek meaning and thereby find our purpose.